Morning. Oh, Vicky and Jasmine, morning. You're so lovely. Thank you for being here. I so appreciate. Vicky messaged me to say that you'd sort of worked out ways of moderating still, and I'm so grateful. Oh, morning, Vicky Handlebars. It's so lovely to see you. Morning, Heather. Lovely to see everyone. Really good to see you all. How are you all doing today? I was just chatting to my moderators because I didn't think there was going to be anyone here today, and you've all had a chat amongst yourselves and you've sorted things out. And I had such I had a real lump in my throat when I saw Vicky's message this morning. Yeah, tag team it, Jasmine. Oh, good morning, Caroline, Amos. Nice to see you. Gosh, very nice to see everyone. Welcome. Good to see you. Oops, sorry, excuse my big finger. I'll see if I can. Oh, I'm doing all right, Jasmine. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? How's everyone's week been? Thank you, Jan. Nice to see you. I love this. Is my cosy jumper. So, morning, Heather. How are you doing? I hope you're all right. Really nice to see you here. I was up at the crack of dawn this morning because my son, who was travelling, those of you who come here relatively often will know. Oh, I'm glad you're all right, Jasmine. Oh, your Isle of Wight walk is on Sunday. Amazing. That is so cool. Elizabeth, morning. Nice to see you. Morning, Julie from California. Oh, lovely to see you. It's so nice to see everyone. So I was just saying, my son, who was travelling all of last year, he was in Australia and Southeast Asia for a year. He was away. Heather's just saying, not too bad, been struggling quite a bit here, but I'm trying. Do you know what, Heather? That's all you can do. Just keep it going moment by moment, and hopefully the people there can be really supportive of you. But keep going. Just all you can do is your best, and you'll get there. So I hope you're all right. I'm so glad to see you here. Another Heather says, I've not been feeling great mentally this week. Hope you're all right, Sarah. Oh, thank you, my lovely. Yeah, to be honest with you, because I was just saying, so my son last year was travelling in Southeast Asia, and this morning, I was up at 6 this morning to take him to the airport because he's gone travelling again. So he's just flown to Spain, and he's going to be with his friends, and they're walking. Have you heard of the Camino de Santiago? Camino de Santiago de Compostela. Have you heard of that? So he's going to be spending the next month to 6 weeks walking. It's a really old pilgrimage that goes from southern France across northern Spain, I believe. I need to look at the trail that he's walking on, and he's going to be doing that. So yeah, so I feel, if I'm totally honest with you, I feel a bit sort of I miss him, you know. I miss him. He makes such a big difference to the family when he's here. And my other son is living with his girlfriend now, so you know, it's like it's, you know, when as a mum, if you're a mum, you probably appreciate this, that you're torn between really wanting them to have a great time but also just enjoying their company when they're here. So yes, anyway. Oh gosh, let's have a look. So good. Yeah, so Jasmine's sending you lots of love, and I send you lots of love too. Hope that you're all right. And also other Heather, it's terrible, isn't it? I don't know what your surnames are, but you know, if you're having a difficult week, I hope that you're okay too. So welcome everyone here. I'm just kind of swimming a little bit, treading water whilst everyone joins us. For those of you who are new here, my name's Sarah. I'm a QCH therapist, and QCH stands for Quest Cognitive Hypnotherapy, which is a framework of therapy really. We draw from lots of different fields in a sort of bespoke package for our clients. And I've been doing it, I qualified about 7 years ago, and I absolutely love it. I really enjoy it. I work mostly online. I see people from all over the world, and I mostly work with people who are suffering from anxiety. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. But I like my TikTok page is really to give free resources, free information, free support to anyone who's going through mental health issues, but particularly anxiety, particularly fears, that sort of thing. So I'm joined by, I have the most amazing team of moderators. So the three people who are with me for the majority of the time are Lynn and Vicky Hodson and Jasmine. I also have the lovely Vicky Handlebars, and it's just I'm so lucky because it means that this is a really safe place. So if anyone's a bit silly or rude or disrespectful, then we just mute. We do sometimes make mistakes. I have to say, the controls on TikTok are really sensitive. So sometimes you can tap on the screen and you do something without even realizing you've done it. So, but it happens very rarely. Let me have a little look at some comments. Let's have a look. So, oh look. So I'm going to put my glasses on. So Hamfer says, "Hi, I'm studying therapy. I'm going into my level 3 in September." That's really cool. Excellent. Are you enjoying it, Hamfer? I hope so. It's the best career, really enjoyable. Elizabeth says, "I had a difficult week, struggle with anxiety. I'm not so good today, but I want to be here." Oh, Elizabeth, I'm really glad that you're here, but I'm sorry to hear that you're having a tricky day. So hopefully we can send you lots of love and lots of sort of virtual hugs to look after you. It's really hard, isn't it? I know I saw a comment from you on my TikTok, I think, but it's on my mind that I need to come and reply to it. I was like flying about yesterday, so I have seen the gist of it and I'm going to come and reply, but I hope you're all right. I know things are tricky for you at the moment. Let's have a little look. Oh, Roxy Rocco. Hi, I work for Andy's Man Club. Have you heard of them? I think I have. Is that he does lots of support for men, so talking about mental health and mental well-being. I think that's what I'm thinking, because if that's the case, I have heard of it, and it's really, really good. So yeah, cool. Oh, it's really nice to have you here, Roxy. So welcome. Let your men know that I'm here if they ever want any, there's lots of, if you look at my grid on TikTok, there's loads of free stuff, free resources, and also through my profile there's a link, and there's loads of free resources and information there as well. But lovely to have you here. Let's have a look. Oh, and Hamfer says that you're loving studying to be a therapist, so that's so cool. Oh, Manon, hello, nice to see you. That's really lovely. Oh gosh. Oh, Vicky Handlebars, do you know what? Please don't apologise. So Vicky Handlebars is also one of my moderators, and I think you have such a busy life, Vicky, but I know that you come when you can, and I so appreciate it. So, I'm really grateful that you're here when you are here. I'm really lucky to have such lovely people who moderate for me, keep this a lovely safe space. Karen Stockton, it's so nice to see you. Sorry, I'm spitting, it's terrible. But I'm glad that you can join alive, and thank you for your kind words. That's very lovely. So today, okay. So what I do is I answer questions. So what I'm going to do is, as I write down a few questions that I'm going to answer. So Yasmin's saying, I want to restart studying, and wants to know how to go about it. Okay, so that's a subject that's dear to my heart, Yasmin. So I'm going to come and answer that. What I tend to do is I'm answering questions. If you have any questions at all about anxiety, about self-care, about well-being, or anything really. I'll do my best to answer them. I'm not the fount of all knowledge. So if I don't know, I'm not going to guess at it. I will tell you that I don't know. All right. And that these are just my opinions, my thoughts on things. So it's always best to do your own research, but hopefully I can help you along the way. And Lee, excellent. So Lee Murph says, I finally have my anxiety under control, but it's always a delicate balance, but I know my triggers. That's so good. I'm really happy to hear that, Lee. Well done, you. And it's a path that I think we all have to take throughout our lives. Yeah. Okay. So, and Vishal says, how do you get motivation to do anything when you're feeling depressed and anxious? So I'm sorry to hear if this is you that's feeling this way, Vishal, then I'm really sorry to hear that, but I've written it down and I'm going to answer your question. What really helps this live and is, if you are enjoying this live, if you think that it's helpful, then if you can tap the screen, then that sends likes and it makes the algorithm think, oh, this is a popular live, and so it sends it to more people. And at the end of the day, that's what I really want, is to help as many people as possible. So it doesn't cost you anything. You just sort of sit there tapping on the screen and that would be really helpful. Also, you can share it if there's anyone you're thinking, oh, they're at work or they're at home and they're a bit bored and they might find this interesting, or they might have questions they want to ask. Oh, thank you. I can see the love hearts coming. So I really appreciate you doing that. So you can share. There's a little sort of arrow that you can share. And also, you know, if you follow me, brilliant. Don't feel you have to, but if you do follow me, then I post every day lots of information, as I say, mainly about anxiety. So let me get on and answer these questions. So Yasmin's, you're 45 and you want to restart studying. Well, I love the fact that you do that, and I think that it's so important that for all of us that we connect with learning and we're in that growth mindset for all of our lives, you know, to be learning all the time up until we're old and even grayer than I am. So how do you do it? Well, there's lots of different ways. I think the first thing is to think of what do I fancy? What am I interested in learning about? Me personally, when I was sort of 18, 19, I went to uni and I did 2 years of uni and I dropped out because I was absolutely miserable and I hated it and I felt really lonely. And although I know it was the right decision for me at the time, I always thought, oh gosh, if only I'd done my degree. I felt like I hadn't really achieved what I wanted to achieve. So in my early 40s, I went to the Open University. So if you're in the UK, the Open University is an amazing organisation, and they have all sorts of courses. So I would go and have a look at their courses. It's changed a bit since I did it, so I think it's more expensive now, but do have a look. There's masses of courses from all sorts of levels, all sorts of areas. And even if you haven't done any sort of further education for years and years, you can do sort of preparatory courses, foundation courses, that sort of stuff. Also, you know, you can go to your local college, you can Google courses. There's a really good, there's a website called Udemy. So that is spelled Udemy. I'll say it again for you, Udemy. And they have loads and loads of courses on so many different things. So to get your hand back in, maybe that's something to look at. And they have everything from, you know, like cooking to photography to therapy courses to calligraphy to all sorts of stuff. So it really depends on what you're looking for, but absolutely go for it. I mean, for me, I'm the training manager at the Quest Institute, and as well as my private practice being a therapist, and we train therapists, and that's most of the people are mature students, so they come to us. We might have some who are in their late 20s, but most people are in their 30s, 40s, 50s. You know, we've had people in their 70s and 80s coming to train with us to become QCH therapists or just for their own personal development. And the big the big fear that a lot of people have at an older age is, oh my God, I haven't done any studying forever, and I don't know, am I going to be able to pass the exams? Will I know how to write an essay? So don't let that hold you back. If that's a fear of yours, don't let that hold you back, because that's, people who are in further education, that's one of their jobs, is to help you to be able to study. And we at the Institute really work hard to help people with their studying. And, I think we have 100% success rate of everyone who's ever taken the exams. That everyone has always passed, which we're very proud of. So I hope that helps. Let us know, Yasmin. Come back to us and tell us what you're going to be studying, because that would be really, really interesting. I'm just having a look here to see if you've said anything. Let's have a look. Oh, morning, Julesy. Nice to see you. Now, I have to apologise because the comments come through so quickly, and then I'm busy gabbing on and talking, and then I realise, there's a whole load of comments and I've not seen. There's a good question there. So Sarah, I think it's Sarah, Sarah 270294. Can anxiety make you black out in tests, etc.? Okay, I'll come back to that one, but that's a really good question. Let's have a look. So Sai has just joined us and said that they just got into trouble in class, been sent out of class, and so you joined us on this. Well, welcome. You're very welcome here. Let's have a look. Oh, Jenny. So Jenny says, I find your voice so soothing and relaxing. My stomach is always full of knots. Not sure why. So that's a really good point as well, Jenny. So I'm going to write that down. Stomach full of knots. Okay. So I don't want to have missed any comments. Let's have a look. Yes, Jasmine says Udemy. That was the thing. Okay, and Sai says technically it's because of head banging on the wall. Okay, well, we can't hear you, so look after yourself. Don't hurt yourself, will you? Oh, Sophie says, hey, I'm training to become a counsellor. So cool. That's really excellent. Good luck with that. I hope you're enjoying it. Morning, Amira. Okay, so let's answer this next question. So let's see. Vishal says, how do you get motivated when you're suffering from depression and anxiety? How do you get motivated? It's such a good question, because particularly when you're feeling really down, but whatever state of protection that you're in, it's really hard. I mean, I know when my kids were younger and I had postnatal depression and I just had no energy to do anything. I just didn't really care, so there's that state that you can be in. Motivation is not a sort of magic thing that you wake up one morning and bang, you're suddenly motivated, or you can do a thing and it makes you suddenly feel motivated. So it's a slow process, really. I think it's about taking action. It's about consistency. You can use all of the techniques that I use to help people with anxiety, also with depression, because these are both protective things. They've all happened for a reason, and the not having energy to do anything is part of that, being in that place where, if you imagine an emotional ladder where the top of your ladder, all is well, you're in flow, you've got energy, it's great. The middle of your ladder is you're in fight or flight, there's threat there, you feel, but you can still do stuff, whether that's, running away from stuff or getting angry about stuff. Depression sort of lives right at the bottom of the ladder, where it's just, all you want to do is curl up in a ball and for the world to go away. And it's really hard to be motivated about anything. So I think the answer is to do small things. For me, when I was, back then, really depressed, really had no sense of hope, what I started to do was I started to make sure that my coffee table was clear. And it sounds really silly, but my house was a mess because I wasn't doing anything. My poor husband was trying to look after me and my 2 children and the house and work. And so a really good starting point for me was clearing my coffee table. So my coffee table was neat and tidy. And then I would start, maybe I'd like to polish it so it smelt nice. And then I gradually, as my mind became more ordered, my room became more ordered, and then my house became more ordered. And I just did it step by step. Now for you, it might be totally different. It might be a totally different thing, and that's fine. It's about connecting to things that you love or things that you used to love. Don't feel that you have to go for an hour's walk or do something that takes a lot of your energy, but just something, even if it's, I don't know, going outside, changing your environment, going for a walk. It doesn't have to be a long walk. It can be, I'm going to step outside of my door, I'm going to walk to the lamppost, and I'm going to walk back. That is enough as a start. The more you do, the more your brain gets into the habit of doing stuff. And every time you do stuff, and maybe keep an I've done list of went for a walk, tick, you get a little boost of dopamine. And your body starts to want that dopamine. It starts to think, oh, this feels good. If I do this thing today, I will feel good about myself. What can I do tomorrow? So you're looking at tomorrow thinking, oh, tomorrow I'm going to walk to the second lamppost, or tomorrow I'm going to clear that drawer out in my kitchen, and so just little by little, you start to do stuff, you get in the habit of doing stuff, you enjoy the boost of dopamine that you get, which is our body's drug, and that's how motivation starts, little by little, and noticing and sort of ticking off what you're doing. So does that make sense to you? I hope so. I hope that it's helpful. Let's have a look. Oh dear, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so the comments are going through really quickly and I'm not keeping up with them very well. Let me have a little look. Welcome to everyone who's joining. I'm Sarah and I'm a QCH therapist, and that means that I am a Quest cognitive hypnotherapist. So it's a talking therapy, helps people with all sorts of issues. But for me personally, I work mostly with people who are suffering from anxiety or maybe depression, maybe just feel a bit stuck in their lives. So, and I'm answering questions with the help of got my lovely moderators here who are keeping this a nice safe space. Okay. Oh, good, Vishal. I'm really pleased that you think that's helpful. Good. Thank you for asking the question. Okay. Oh, and that's really interesting. So this sort of links in. So I can't say your name, but with a P, prayful. The biggest reason I don't set little goals is because my brain tells me it's not enough. Okay, and that's something that does happen a lot, because your brain is so in protection that it thinks, oh, that is not good enough. So it's, in that case, don't set goals as such as just do small things. Maybe the goals are still too big. I remember a colleague of mine saying they were working with someone who had an eating disorder, and they really I remember them talking about having a fantastic moment when this client ate a whole pea, and I know that sounds like nothing, but it was a massive step forward for them because they'd been on liquids, and they cut the pea in half and they ate one half and then they ate the other half, and that was the beginning of recovery for that person. So sometimes we set goals that we think are too small, and actually maybe they're not small enough. So I hope that helps a little bit. And Elizabeth says, sometimes it's difficult. I want to do things, but I can't. I feel blocked somehow. Yeah, I think that's probably something that a lot of people can connect with Elizabeth, because it just seems too difficult. And perhaps when you're feeling that, you're in that place at the bottom of your ladder where there is threat there, you're aware that everything is very difficult in life and you just cannot take action. And that is a place where we just need to heal. We need to be kind to ourselves. So, sometimes it's too much to be setting ourselves goals. We need to just rest, recover, be kind to ourselves, and maybe connect with people. Come to things like this, to places that are quite positive and hopefully can be uplifting. And then you get, if you're doing that regularly, or looking back. So if you can look back at your day, because you will have done stuff in your day, so you can just live your day as you would normally, and then look back and write a list of the things that you've done, not stuff that you've planned on doing, but things that you've done. So you've got up, you've had a shower, you've eaten well during the day, you've spoken to someone, you've connected someone, you've left a comment on social media for someone and they've come back to you. All of those things deserve a tick, and to appreciate that you have done stuff, even if it's not stuff that you planned on doing. Because once you start realizing that you are doing things, then you can move forward with that. So I hope that helps a little bit. Okay, so my next one is from Sarah, or Sarah. I think it's Sarah because you haven't got an H on the end of your name. But Sarah says, can anxiety cause blackouts in things like tests and interviews? So I suppose it really depends on what you mean by blackouts. I think that if you're having blackouts, if you're losing track of time, or if you're fainting or anything like that, go and see your doctor, because you need to go and get that checked out, just to put your mind at ease and make sure that nothing untoward is going on. Now, something that can happen to us is that we can dissociate. So we can be in a situation where we think, oh, this is too much, it's too much, and we can sort of become disconnected from the world and from the environment that we're in, and that can perhaps feel like a blackout. If you lose track of time, you think, oh, I'm not sure what's happened, where I am, what's going on. Also go and see someone about that, because I think that's probably a bit more than just anxiety. It could be connected to anxiety, because when we are anxious, and particularly when we're in a real heightened state of anxiety, perhaps we're having a panic attack, or on the edge of having a panic attack, for those things like you described, having an exam, going for an interview, it can take us to a place where we do distance ourselves really in a protective way. But I don't think you should be blacking out for any of those things. I think that any time that you start blacking out or not being aware of your surroundings, you really need to go and have a chat with your doctor or your therapist, because there's lots and lots of stuff that we can do to help ourselves. But things like that, I think perhaps we need to go and see someone who is a professional in the field and who's got experience and can help you with that. So I hope that helps a little bit. I hope it makes sense. There's no need to be frightened at all. It's important to get it checked out and sorted, really. So I hope that that's helpful, Sarah. I think something that, potentially can be really helpful if you are experiencing really heightened anxiety, if you're having panic attacks and so on, is to look at my page and look at the idea of bringing self-care into your day, so that, if your stress hormones are up here and you're sort of living in a place where everything is very heightened and very full of that energy of adrenaline, then what we need to do is bring those levels down so that even if something happens that your nervous system thinks is a threat, it's going from here rather than up here and going overwhelm, and possibly dissociating in some way. So generally, I would say begin to be kind to yourself, to slow down, to take time to do some of the things that I share on my page, like slow, steady breathing, visualization techniques, practicing being in the moment. That is, I think, going to help no matter what's going on. But definitely go and get that checked out, I would say. So I hope that's all right. I hope that's helpful, Sarah. Welcome to everyone who's here, who's joined us on this Friday morning. I hope that you are all right. It is very lovely to have you here. I'm joined by my lovely team of moderators, Vicky Hodson, Jasmine, Lynn, and Vicky Handlebars. They're doing a tag team today because Lynn, well, actually, I don't think Lynn's here today, so we miss you, Lynn. If you have a look on the live, I'm not sure. I've not seen you, Lynn, but and I know that you're going to meet your friends, because I've been a bit random about my lives. So I've written down a whole load of times when I'm going to do my lives over the next few weeks. So I don't know if you're interested. Shall I tell you the dates of my lives coming up? I don't know if you're interested, but I'm going to tell you they're all going to be at 12 o'clock UK time for the next little while. And I'm doing them on next Friday, and then the Friday after, and then the Friday after. And then I'm having a little break for a couple of weeks. So I'm doing 19th, 26th, and the 2nd of June. And then I'm going to do the 23rd and the 30th of June. So they're all Fridays, all at 12 o'clock over the next few weeks, because I just thought I need to get it so it's a bit steadier for everyone. So I hope that that's helpful. If you want me to repeat them, just say, and I'll do it. And I might do a little post later so that you can see. All right, let me have a little look here at some comments. User 934. I've just tested positive with COVID, but I start my GCSEs on Monday and know everything is falling apart. And now everything is falling apart. Oh, bless you. Okay. So if you haven't contacted your school already, contact them, because they will have, surely they should have ways of you being able to still take your GCSEs. You have worked really hard and you have the right to do your GCSEs. Even if it's, I know that there are people who perhaps GCSE papers are brought to your home and you do them at home, or there's a little room that you can do them when you're isolated. So please do not despair. Get in touch with the school and, politely demand or say to them, I need to do my GCSEs. How can I do them? I'm sure that they will help you. So gosh, bless you and good luck to you. I'm sure you'll do absolutely fine. Don't let your mind run away with you. If your mind is going, oh my God, everything's going wrong, it has not gone wrong yet. You've got COVID and you probably will test negative very, very soon. If you might even be testing negative by next week, by Monday, who knows? So do not despair. Get your adults, the people who support you, to work with you, to work with the school to sort this out. You'll be fine. You'll look back at this and you'll go, oh my God, do you remember my GCSEs and I had COVID the week before? So don't worry, everything will be all right. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. Ooh, loads and loads of comments just flew by. My apologies if I've not answered your comment. Let's have a look. Some very nice comments today. Oh, Ellie's got biology A-level today. Good luck, Ellie. I hope it goes really well for you. Brilliant. I bet you've worked really hard for that. Okay, let me answer Jenny's question. Jenny said that her stomach is full of knots a lot of the time, and that's really hard. Gosh, the physical symptoms of anxiety are horrible, aren't they? They really hurt. I know when my son was away travelling and I had to get him back from Australia, and it was very complicated and difficult, and I was anxious for a week. I mean, that's nothing to some of you. I know some of you anxious for months and years. And that was bad enough for me. It was so painful. My stomach was absolutely in knots, and it's just such a terrible feeling. So what I would say to you is that, that what's going on there is probably a combination of things. The release of adrenaline gives you that feeling in your belly, but also what happens is that we get very tight. Our muscles are ready to fight or to run away when we're anxious. And so to know that that's the case is really helpful, because if you understand what's going on, that can be really helpful. Perhaps if you have a look at some of my videos, they're in categories along my grid, along my profile page, and there's lots of information on anxiety and what's happening for you there. And what you can do is, as I was saying a little bit earlier on, talking about connecting to the world. When you're in protection, and anxiety and depression and other things are protective behaviours, when you're in that place, it can just feel, it's so physically horrible, and you're disconnecting from the world. Now, your disconnection might not be as difficult as depersonalization or dissociation, but you're disconnecting from the things that you used to love to do, the people that you love, all of that kind of stuff. And what we need to do, even though it feels sometimes counterintuitive, is to reconnect. So be with the people that make you feel good. Oh, pardon me, it's a bit rude. A little burp. Oh, just so embarrassed. Oh dear. Anyway, what was I saying? So reconnecting to people, being curious about yourself. So connecting to yourself, and that might mean stuff like yoga or meditation. It might just be researching, finding out, okay, this is interesting. I feel this at the moment. What's just happened in my life to make me feel like this? That sort of thing. That can be really helpful. Connecting to any animals that you have. Research shows that if you've got a cat or a rabbit or something on your lap, or a dog, that lowers your blood pressure, makes you feel much calmer. Being in nature, doing exercise, stuff like walking, connecting with things that are creative, things that you love, learning new things. That place of being in growth can be so helpful for all of us. And the more you do that, the more your nervous system goes, and it just slows, relaxes, and that's when the knots in your tummy go. So that's the stuff that you can do by yourself. If you've got stuff going on in your life, or you've had stuff going on in your life that you think, actually it's more than I can deal with by myself, then, maybe either go to your doctor and say, I would like talking therapy. You can have a look at my profile page. There's a link there to the QCH therapist finder. There's lots of therapists like me. There's hundreds of us. And we are all, well trained, and we help people who are feeling the way that you're feeling. It's quite practical therapy. So have a look at that maybe. So I hope that helps, Jenny. I know it's horrible when you feel like that. Oh gosh, thank you so much everyone for being here. Thank you for the likes. I can see the little hearts going up, and it's so great, because it's so weird from my angle. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see that the more hearts there are, the likes that you get by tapping, then the number of viewers go up. And it's so weird, but it just means that we're helping more people, because so many people in this day and age feel anxious. And I think that so often we have that sense of, if you have anxiety, if you've been diagnosed with a specific anxiety or a general anxiety, people tend to think, that means I'm broken. I've got this for the rest of my life. And that's absolutely not the case. You can do stuff about anxiety, because it is a protective response caused by something in your life, whether it's something happening right now, or whether it's something that you're afraid of happening in the future, or maybe something has happened in your past and it's still resonating with you. We all wear I saw a really interesting video the other day with a therapist, and they were talking about all of us wearing history-coloured sunglasses. And what they meant by that was that from the moment we're born, we begin to see life through our own personal lens. It's a way of seeing, everything that's ever happened to us affects us. It's like, for example, I've got this pen, and this pen will mean something very different to me than it means to anyone else in the world, because every time I've ever picked up a pen or used a pen, I've got that memory in my head. And if that's just going to happen with a pen, then what's it like when you've got memories of traumatic, difficult things in your head? It's going to have an effect on you. Sometimes in good ways, it makes us who we are, and sometimes in more difficult ways. So yeah. Anyway, let me have a look at the comments and see. Abby Miller says, how do I deal with brain fog? Okay, so I've written that down and I'll come back to that. Let's have a look. Any others? Let's have a look. Just having I hate it when I see comments and I'm obviously just seeing the end comment on a little line of comments and I've not caught up. Oh my goodness, Jessica, I've just left a 3-year-long abusive relationship. I'm homeless and sleeping in my car with no heat. Oh my goodness, bless you. Okay, so let's have a look. So what I would say is, first of all, good on you. You are very, very strong and very, very courageous to have made that step. So don't go back, whatever you do. What you can do, there's a helpline. So the National Domestic Abuse Helpline is, I don't know if you can write this down, or if one of the moderators, if you could put this in the comments for Jessica. So it's either the website is refuge.org.uk, or there's also 0808 2000 247. So let's have a look. Yeah, thank you, Gwared. Brilliant, thank you. Okay. So Jessica, if you have a look just beneath your comment, Gwared has written that down, refuge.org.uk. Just seeing what else I've got here. So also you could maybe look at the Survivors Trust, and that is 0808 80 10 81 8. And all of those places have got helplines, and they will be able to advise you. Maybe they can look at helping you to maybe get into some sort of refuge to give you some help and support in this, acute time. No, it's all right, Jessica. So well done for taking a screenshot. So it's amazing that you've had the strength to get out, because it takes a lot of strength to get out of a relationship like that. And at least you've got your car, and you've got your phone. So absolutely do that now. Please go to either that website, the Refuge website, or phone up those phone lines, because I think by the look at those, they should be free. I don't know if anyone else has any better advice than that, but hopefully that will be the start of you being able. Oh, okay, so you're in Gary, Indiana. Okay, I wonder, thank you, Vicky, for showing that. So I would say, let's see, I don't think I've got any info about anything in the US. I wonder if one of my moderators, maybe if you get a chance, would you be able to have a look for domestic abuse charities and support in Indiana or in the US? Because I'm sure there must be somewhere that Jessica can get some help, because the last thing you want is to be stuck in your car. Oh, Wendy, it's so lovely to see you. Wendy is, I'm sure, Wendy, you totally feel for Jessica, because Wendy's been through difficult times as well and is incredibly courageous in the life that you're living, Wendy. And I know it's hard. I don't want anyone to be triggered by this. If this is difficult for you to listen to, then please just maybe turn the sound down just for a moment. Okay, brilliant. So Vicky has said domesticshelters.org. So I imagine that's either in Indiana or in the States. So, and Vicky's just pinned that comment. So Jessica, if you have a little, take a screenshot of that, then maybe get in touch with them, because they should be near to you. They will be either in Indiana where you are, or they'll be in the States generally. But absolutely do not go back, keep going, and there is help out there for you. And come back to us, come back and let us know. Even if you just drop me a note or message me, because I'd really like to know that you're safe and everything is okay. All right. Wendy. So Wendy left her marriage about 3 months ago, and it's really hard. It's not an easy journey, but it's so worth it in the end if you can do that. Oh, Julie, thank you. Okay, so Julie Reese Divas in California, and she's pinned a post here that says LCADVINC.org. That's the Indiana Coalition Against Domestic Violence. Okay, so that's maybe another one that you can have a little look at, Jessica. Let me make a little note. I hope that's helpful for you. Okay, so I think I can see there you're saying that you're scared and you're hungry. Oh, bless your heart. So I think the first thing is to reach out to one of those organizations, and I'm hoping that what they will do is they will immediately be able to say to you, okay, we can help you in this way. So Vicky's also pinned a post here. It says gary.gov/Commission on Women. So have a look at that as well, Jessica. So you've got a lot of options there. So well done. And yeah, you absolutely can do this, Jessica. We're all here rooting for you. So contact those, and maybe when you've managed to get hold of someone and you've had something to eat and you're feeling a bit safer, let us know how you're doing, because I'd like to be able to I want to know that you're all right. Okay, right, so I was going to talk about Abby mentioned about brain fog. So Abby, thank you for asking that question. Thank you so much to everyone actually on here, because how lovely that I'm in Hertfordshire in the UK. We've got Julie in California. We've got Vicky, and I can never remember where you live, Vicky. That's really terrible. We've got people from all over the world, all over our country, who are reaching out to help Jessica, who's reached out for help, and I love that. So I think that's exactly why we do these lives, and that's why I've got my TikTok page. Okay, so thank you everyone for all of your kindness. Oh gosh. Okay. So Abby was asking about brain fog. Okay. Now Abby, thank you for asking this. So brain fog is something that I think is a symptom of anxiety that can happen to lots of people. I think if there's anything thing, I always say this, if you have any symptoms that are not the norm for you, go to your doctor, get them checked out. I think that's always the wisest thing to do. The chances are that they're nothing to worry about, and that you can do lots of stuff either by yourself or maybe talking to a therapist. But on the small chance that it's something that is physical, then it's always worth getting stuff checked out, okay? And then once you've got it checked out, then you can carry on with the stuff that I'm going to talk about now. But obviously I'm on a TikTok here, so I don't know any of your personal private history, and I'd be really wrong of me to just go, oh yeah, it's just anxiety. So do go and get these things checked out, okay? And that applies to everyone that's here. So brain fog is something that people experience. It's something that people who are perimenopausal and menopausal experience a lot, but also if you are going through anxiety. And what's happening is that because you are in protection, because in an instant your nervous system has decided that there's danger out there, and it may well be that you're constantly being triggered for whatever reason, instead of your blood and oxygen being sent just nicely all around your body, what's happening is that it tends to be sent to the centres where our nervous system believes that places like our big muscles, our heart, our lungs, those are the places that are deemed to be important. Stuff that's considered to be a bit of a luxury, like our digestive system, like our thinking brain, like our reproductive system, they're kind of shut down because we don't want to be having babies when when there's danger, and we don't need to eat when there's danger. We need to be ready to run away. And equally, this thinking part of our brain is quite a modern part of our brain, and we don't need to think, we need to get away. So that's what makes us feel foggy, because the stuff like our speech and language centre, our working memory, those are all affected by being in protection. So what do we do about that? Well, what we do is all the stuff that I've mentioned earlier on today. So stuff like creating an environment of safety, creating a lifestyle where we're connected and we can feel safer. I hope that makes sense. There's lots and lots of it on my grid, and in various categories on the bottom of my grid page. So I really hope that that's helpful for you. So thank you to everyone who's following me, and for liking this post. Not post, is it? What am I talking about? Lost my mind. It's not a post. Thank you for liking this live. Thank you for sharing this live. I so appreciate it. And thank you to my moderators. My moderators realised, I realised that I was not going to have any moderators today, because individually they all live in in Scotland, in the Isle of Wight, in all over the place. And I realised, I thought, oh my goodness, everyone's busy leading their lives, which is, I'm happy to hear that. And I suddenly thought to myself, the last couple of days, oh blimey, I'm not going to have any moderators. And do you know what they did? Between them, they also realised that, and they messaged each other, and they're doing a tag team. So like Vicky's working, but she's just keeping an eye on the phone, and Jasmine's doing stuff. Jasmine, I think you're working as well. I'm so grateful to have such lovely people in my life, just the best people. So anyway, thank you to you. Okay, let's have a look. So magnetic pull 2020. So I have depersonalization and derealization all the time, horrific anxiety at tolerance with benzos. So gosh, I really feel for you. That's really, really hard. I think it's such a scary thing. I've never experienced depersonalization, but I've worked with people who have, and it's a really horrible place to be. I'm hoping from the fact that you've got those diagnoses and that you're on benzos, is that you're working with a team that can help you and support you. And if that's the case, then I really hope that they are supportive and they do good work with you. If it's not the case, then do contact your doctor and get help from someone who can be supportive of you and help you. With what I've found working with people with depersonalization, derealization, is that structure in your day can be really helpful. Just simplifying, but having that sense of, okay, I just need to do one thing at a time. Connecting to your body in various ways, either through breath work or other somatic practices. Perhaps working with a somatic practitioner can be helpful. But I feel for you, and I hope that you're all right. Thank you for being here. Let's have a little look here. Let's have a look. So this is, so Magnetic Pull 2020 says, I'm really trying to have a routine. So, it's easier said than done, isn't it? And what I was saying earlier on about a routine and motivation is sometimes we don't even realize we do have a routine until we look back on our day. So it can be really helpful to have a moment in our day, a little sort of ritual at the end of our day where we stop and we just reflect on, what have I done today? And so you can write down what you've done, tick them off, and give yourself a pat on the back for achieving what you've achieved in the day. And so that can give you a sense of structure, almost in a backwards way, so that looking forwards, you can go, oh, I had this structure today. I wonder if I can repeat that structure tomorrow. So I hope that helps a little bit. Evie says, any tips with anxiety in school? I find it hard to stay in difficult situations and get told off. So firstly, my pleasure, Magnetic Pull. And Evie, it's tricky, isn't it? Because when you're in school and you've got stuff going on and you're in protection, and that protective behavior comes out as anger or frustration or just loads of energy, and you're like, tapping, or your legs going, or whatever it is that is, happening for you, that can be seen by some teachers, some staff, as disruptive. And it's not intentionally disruptive. It's just that you're on such a high state of alert. It's really, really difficult. So what I would say to you, Evie, is, the stuff that I've talked about today, maybe if you've got time, just to sort of work your way through some of the videos that I've done on my grid, anxiety information, looking at breath techniques, and also talk to the school. If there's someone at school that you trust, that you can talk to and say, listen, I don't want to be kicked out all the time. Is there some way that I can help myself? Is there some way that, if you feel the energy building up and I'm going to lose it in a minute, that you can have a timeout card, that kind of thing. I think communication is really important. Yeah. So, they punish and say I'm disruptive. It's really hard, isn't it? I really feel for you. I think when you, if you're in a school and you have people who really understand where you're coming from, it can be so helpful. There's a really interesting book. What's it called? I know I've got it upstairs. It's called something Behind the Behavior. So it's looking at children, teenagers, and looking at the fact that all behavior has a purpose. You don't not just behave. You're not just behaving in a way for the hell of it. There's something going on there. There's a need that you have that's not being met, and it's really important that the school understand that. The fact that you are bright enough and articulate enough and self-aware enough that you're here on this live, interested in mental health and asking that question, says a huge amount for you. So whether there is someone at school, or whether you have family members that can support you and talk to school with or for you and say, listen, we don't want this happening. Is there some sort of support that you can give to Evie? But you can help yourself by quietly doing the things that I talk about, you know, the self-care, the visualization techniques, the physical techniques. This one is, you know, if you feel yourself losing it a bit, this can be helpful, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it would be really helpful for you to maybe have someone to chat with. So I hope that helps a little bit. Do come back, Evie. It's really lovely that you're here. Let's have a look. Queenies, I tried talking to a therapist. I went to my GP, but all the therapist did was give me homework. Oh, God, that's so frustrating, isn't it? I find that so hard. As a therapist myself, it is so frustrating to hear of people's experiences when, you know, they go to a therapist for help and the therapist is a kind of, you just like, next, you're your number to them. I would say go back if you can and ask to see someone different. I know that private therapy is not always affordable to people, but, you know, I think with private therapy, you get to pick and choose a bit more. Also, there are charities who can give therapy for either a reduced price or for free. And it's worth looking around at therapists and contacting them and saying, listen, I can't afford very much. Will you work with me? Can we come to some sort of arrangement? You know, whether that's seeing someone once a month, whether that's a reduced price. It's tricky. It depends on the therapist. But I'm sorry that you've had that really awful experience. Yeah. Oh, blimey, look at the time. It's 11 o'clock. We need to bring everything to an end. And I'm really aware that I haven't answered lots and lots of questions. I'm going to just answer one last two. Okay, so Wynne says, I've got a major exam in about an hour. I feel like they're ants in my blood. Okay, go to my grid and look at the techniques that are pinned. There are 3 techniques, 3 videos. The longest is 10 minutes, but the others are like less than 3 minutes. Have a look at those, use them. They will help you bring yourself to the moment and calm yourself. Good luck with your exam. You've got this. And also the love heart. Do you know if anxiety can cause symptoms similar to ADHD? Okay, so if by that you mean sort of full of energy and rushing around, not able to concentrate, then yes, anxiety absolutely can do that. Anxiety is, we all do our anxiety differently. It's a protective behaviour. You're in fight or flight, and if you're in a situation, you're thinking, or your nervous system is going, we don't need to be here. This is not a good place to be. It will be making you feel absolutely awful. So to get you out of there. And when you don't take yourself out of that situation for whatever reason, it just builds and builds and builds. So you can have that sense of, you know, I'm not an expert on ADHD. So my understanding, though, that I do have is that, yes, it could have. So I know it's a bit vague, but I hope that helps a little bit. Again, if you're worried, there's a really great charity called Advance, so ADD hyphen VANCE, Advance, and they have lots of information about ADHD and ADD. So maybe have a look at them. I think they have a helpline. You could chat to someone as well, see what they say. Because if it's ADHD or ADD, then you can get tested for that and find out whether it is or not, if you want to do that. And if it's anxiety, there's also stuff that you can do about that. So, yeah. Right. Well, I think I'm having my nails done. So I do need to draw this to an end because my nails are in a right old state at the moment. So I really need to go and see my lovely Paige and get my nails done. But thank you so much for being here. I can see when I love it when people are helpful in the comments to each other. Elizabeth, I'm so glad that your anxiety has been brought down just by doing this. The next live that I'm going to do is going to be next Friday at 12. So do come along. I'll do a post about it so you can set a reminder or register for it. If you have just come in on the end of this, or you only managed to catch a little bit of this, then if you have a look at this thing up here, you can see that my YouTube is Sarah Eris Therapy, and I always upload my lives to my YouTube channel so that you can just watch it with a cup of tea in your own time. So do go along and have a look. It will be uploaded at some point. Sometimes I'm better than other times at uploading it quickly, but I will always do it before next week. So it would be, if you, as I say, if you've not caught it if you've not caught, oh God, what we're doing, I'm just rambling. If you've not caught all of this today, go and have a look at my YouTube channel. And if you have caught all of it, well, thank you so much for having the stamina to sit through this. Thank you ever so much, Vicky and Jasmine, Vicky Handlebars as well. Lynn, if you've popped in at all, if you're here, then thank you. But I so appreciate your help with the moderating and for, pinning comments and all of that kind of stuff. You're just the best people. Thank you, all of you, for being here. I'm going to say cheerio. And yeah, just take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Heather, it's been so lovely to see you. You look after yourself. Take care. Be kind to yourself. Cheerio, Vicky Hudson. Thank you so much, my lovely. You absolutely touched my heart this morning, you and Jasmine and Lynn. Thank you so much for organising that. Wendy, my lovely, I hope you have a good day. Have a lovely weekend. Keep going because you're doing brilliantly. Elizabeth, I don't know. Who am I saying goodbye to? I don't want to miss anyone. Shazbab, take care, you. Nice to see you. Julesy, I saw that you were here a while ago, and thank you for being here. It's lovely to see you. Have a lovely weekend. Never forever. You take care. Julie, thank you for pinning those posts about the charities for Jessica. That was really amazing of you. Thank you. Have a lovely weekend, Julie, in California. Elizabeth, you take care. You've been here all the way through, Julesy. Yay! I was so happy about that. That's so cool. Yeah. Right. All right, everyone. Thank you ever so much for being here. Thank you for all your likes. Thank you for all your follows. Thank you for sharing this. Take care, and I will see you next Friday, the 19th, at 12 o'clock. That's sort of lunchtime UK time. All right. Bye, everyone. Take care.